Namaste, Aishel here, and I'm back and alive for the second series of how to solo travel Nepal. In this series, there are three parts that I will be discussing. One is my international airfare ticket or the cost, and then how I got to Kathamandu. The second part is obtaining tourist Nepali visa, and the third part is about my local flight cost, and then how I got my permit for solo trekking to Everest base camp. Let's start, and the first part is my international airfare cost. Since I'm based here, so I flew from Don Muang International Airport to Tribhuvan International Airport in Nepal via Thai Lion, which is direct flight. These are the airlines that directly fly from Bangkok to Kathmandu. Other airlines fly from Suvarnabhumi, that's what the local says it, but for foreigners they say Suvarnabhumi, whichever it is. Nepal Airways, Thai Airways, and then Bangkok Airways. Don Muang, Thai Lion, and AirAsia fly there to Kathmandu. AirAsia does fly, however, there's a 6 hours layover in Kuala Lumpur. I opted to Thai Lion, which was the cheapest at the time. And by the way, I booked my ticket a month before flying. My two-way ticket from Don Muang to Kathmandu and back to Don Muang was at 10,984 baht. Thai Lion in-flight services, they have free 20 kilograms of check-in luggage and then maximum of 10 kilograms for hand carry. My rucksack at the time was only 15 kilograms. However, no food nor drinks on the plane. By the way, my duration was 3 hours and 15 minutes from Don Muang to Tribhuvan. If you're flying from home, the Philippines to Nepal, these two airways are flying directly, Cathay Pacific and Philippine Airlines. Otherwise, you have to go to Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, or Bangkok, then fly out to Kathmandu. Now on to the part 2, which is obtaining Nepali tourist visa. On towards the building of Tribhuvan International Airport, on your left hand side, you will see a wooden table and forms for the arrival court and a form for the application on arrival visa. There are kiosks on the adjacent side, however, it wasn't working when I tried, so I went back and filled out the form. The requirements for on-arrival visa, the general overall requirement is for your passport to have at least 6 months validity. The second requirement is a passport size ID picture. That is if you are filling out the form. But if you get there, you don't have an ID picture, you can use the kiosk. After you fill out the one-page form, your photo, go straight and then pay for the visa on the cashier desk. Last month, in July 17, there were slightly changes about the visa. The cost has slightly increased. Last year, when I applied my visa, it was a single entry, but now it's multiple entries visa. Depending on the duration of your stay in Nepal, for 15 days now to $20, 30 days now to $50, 90 days, which is the maximum, is now $125. Transit visa remained to $5 for only 24 hours. These visas are payable by US, Canadian, Hong Kong, Singaporean dollars, Euro, and Yen. And maybe you can use also your card when you pay your visa. Since Nepal has been advertising the Visit Nepal 2020, of course, we expect that there are also changes, and I think one of them is the fee for visa that slightly increased. If you are traveling with the children under 10, they are required a visa, but it's free of charge. That's a good deal, right? In addition to visa information, renewal and extension is possible at any immigration department either in Kathmandu or in Pokhara. For standard tourist visas, it can be extended up to a maximum period of 150 days. $45 for the first 15 days, and the extra days would be $3. In case you overstayed, you will be charged per day for $5, and they will ask you to fill out a form, your passport, the fee, and then a photo. Those are the changes of the cost of Nepali tourist visa. SAARC countries the gratis visa. SAARC stands for South Asia Association for Regional Cooperation. These countries are Bangladesh, Bhutan, India, of course Nepal, Pakistan, and then what's the other one? Sri Lanka and Maldives. They can have the gratis visa. There are also countries that free of visa. Thai is amongst them, and then Chinese, and there's the other one, however, I forgot. There are countries that cannot obtain on arrival visas. They have to have the after you pay for your visa. On your right hand side, it's the immigration office where they release your visa. This is the visa looks like. It indicates the duration of your stay in Nepal, the expiration and the issue date, and also the fee. You'll get that at the immigration office. After all you got your visa, going into Kathmandu would be easier for you. After you pass the customs and then near the exit, there are shops where you can buy your SIM card or you can book for a taxi if you don't have a pre-booking from your hotel. And on the wall, I still remember, on the wall, the prices of your destinations are all there. I did not book a hotel, but my destination is in Tamil. Then, whom I met at the plane is also going in that area, so we split the cost of the taxi, which is 800. So let's have a wrap about obtaining a tourist Nepali visa on arrival. You have to have your, of course, passport, which is valid still for 6 months, and then a passport ID picture. So that's all for the second part. If you are still sitting there and watching this vlog, thank you for staying with me. If you have additional information, please write them down on the comment box. Now into the part 3 of this series. It's about my local flight and then getting my solo trekking permit. Yes, I need a local flight because when you are planning to trek to Everest, you don't start in Kathmandu. No. You must fly from Kathamandu to Lukla, which is the easiest but expensive way to get there. I have a day in Kathmandu. I worked on my permit, my local flight, and then also shopping for the clothes or the other things that I would be bringing with me to the trek. Since I did a solo trekking, I have to the permit on my own. So from my hotel, I took a taxi and went to tourism board. It opened at 9 and then closes at 3 or 4. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember. Look at this tourism board. Oh, this is inside the tourism board. It's fancy. But first, let's get our trekking permit. Requirements for your solo trekking permit is just your passport and then cash, and then of course you have to be there. If you're trekking solo, you cannot apply online. You have to go to the tourism board and do it by yourself. But if you're going through the agency, I think the agency will do it all for you. So no hassle if you're going to the agency for trekking. This is the permit that you will get at tourism board in Kathmandu, or you can also buy this when you get to Lukla. It indicates your name, nationality, gender, and it costs 3,000 Nepali rupee. The actual entry fee is 2,654 Nepali rupee, but there's a 13% VAT, so altogether you have to pay for 3,000 Nepali rupee. In addition to this permit, when you get to Lukla, you must pay for the national park fee ticket, and this is how it looks like. I got this for 2,000 Nepali rupees. As far as I can remember, before you reach the arc, there's on the right hand side you will buy your ticket there, and then on the left hand side you have to show them, and you will get their information and check if you have these 2 permits and the entrance fee. These are the needed permits when you do the solo trekking. Otherwise, the agency will just do it for you. Came along with the permit is this information about the Sulukumbo or the Sagar. That's the name of the national park, Sagarmatha National Park, which is the Everest region. It informs about the hours of trekking, but park regulations to follow or things to remember. If you don't have much time to get your permit in Kathmandu, you can get them all in Lukla. So after I got my permit, I went back to Tamil for breakfast and then went to the airport. Back at the airport,
I'm going to buy my ticket flight to Lukla tomorrow.
I don't know what was I really thinking, but I was so excited and I thought buying a local ticket in Kathmandu is just like going to 7-Eleven. You book and then you fly the next day. It didn't turn that way. First is I went to the local airport, which is at Tribhuvan International Airport. It's just on the adjacent side. And then Buddha Air was the only airline that was open at the time that I can book a ticket, but I'm flying after 2 weeks. Oh my god, so I rushed back and went to Tamil, went to 7 agencies, and all I got was the same answers. There's no available flight the next day. Oh my god. Luckily, I got a Nepali friend. I messaged him and I told him I couldn't book for my ticket the following day. So, hold on, he said, and I waited for 2 hours and boom, it's there. Precious and Tour Travel Agency. This is Jiban who helped me with my air ticket. I was lucky that I even got the first flight in the morning. These are the details of my local flight. From Kathmandu, I'd be flying to one of the most dangerous airports in the world. I was excited for that actually. It's not actually the airport that makes it dangerous. 500 meters runway, and then the location, and then the weather. The reasons why Lukla is one of the most dangerous airports in the world. Normally, the local air ticket for foreigners ranges from one way is from $140 to $180. It cost me $360 for 2 ways. That's Kathmandu, Lukla, and then Kathmandu. However, Juban said had I booked my ticket earlier, I could have bought for one way for $140. Anyways, it's a lifetime adventure, so I just have to close my eyes and pay for that cost of local ticket. I know my international airfare is almost the same as my local flight, but what can I do? This is Kathmandu.
On behalf of Summit Air, with Thai crew members, we'd like to welcome you on board Kathmandu to Lukla flight. Our flight duration from Kathmandu to Lukla will be approximately 27 minutes. So for your own safety,
I have a tips when you're flying to Lukla. Tip number 1 when you're flying to Lukla is you grab the left hand side of the plane. It's because you will have a glimpse of Mount Everest. If the weather is clear, you could see the trail of mountains. I was clueless that right in front of my eyes, I saw Mount Everest twice. I know it's twice that I saw Mount Everest, but I was really clueless. The first one I saw Mount Everest is when I flew from Bangkok to Kathmandu. It was just there again, right in front of my lens, and I was thinking twice if it was Everest or not.
Could that be Everest? Oh my god.
I did my first acclimatization in Namche, and then this mountain looks so familiar, and they said that's Mount Everest. I said like, what? I've seen this shape before, and I've seen it twice on the plane. How dare I am. Tip number 2 is let your agent book your return ticket as open air ticket. What does that mean, open air ticket? Why you have to book your return ticket as an open air? It's because trekking to Everest Base Camp is not certain. The normal trekking days is 12 days, which I did, but on the trail, something may happen, you get sick and you cannot finish, or you have to get back on your first day, 5th day. For those reasons, this is where this open air ticket comes in. It has to do with the return dates not fixed. And the good shot of this is you're not going to pay anything other than the regular cost of your ticket. That's the reason why you have to tell the agent to book your return ticket as an open air ticket. So those are just the 2 tips. Recently trekked to the Everest Base Camp, and there are new informations or new rules that I missed it. Please write it down on the comment box below. In series 2 on how to solo travel Nepal, I'd be talking about where to and how to go around Kathmandu. It would be my daily expenses that would cover my day-to-day accommodation, food, transportation, and then more details. If you haven't watched my vlogs about Kathmandu, do watch it before I upload the second series. And the tips that I'll be sharing to you are from my own experiences and my own discoveries, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for staying up until this part of the vlog. Dhanyabad! Dhanyabad is a thank you in Nepali. That's it for today. See you in the next series. Ciao! That's the peak of the glorious beast Mount Everest. Woo! Stunning.